as we head towards the budget on the 6th of March, talk continues both on TV programmes and in the press, and I'm sure amongst you and your clients, around the possibility, likelihood of tax cuts. I attended an Institute of Fiscal Studies virtual event recently where they very coherently and clearly put forward the underlying dynamics, the determinants for whether tax cuts could or should be made. It was made very clear to me. I was reminded that whilst the government has materially increased tax revenues, we can't have missed that because of the frozen allowances and reduced exemptions, etc. The frozen thresholds, of course, dragging more and more people into tax. Whether or not tax cuts could be afforded, aside from the government being confident that they would hit their 5-year plan of having government debt falling as a proportion of GDP, the requirement is there to be fiscally responsible before tax cuts are made. And a key contributor towards that fiscal responsibility, producing the headroom necessary to justify the tax cuts, of course, will be made clear when the OBR issue their forecasts at or around budget day. The determinants have to be really, to what extent can the government rely on reduced interest payments, because that's an enormous part of outflow from the government funding, paying back or servicing, more to the point, government debt. And then we've also got the need to have cuts in the costs of services. That was what the last reductions in national insurance, the tax cuts at the autumn statement, was predicated on. And the IFS made it very clear that they feel that there should be clearly specified cuts in public spending and where they are coming, especially important given that there are a number of protected areas in relation to public spending, including the national health, defence budget, etc. So we'll be watching this space carefully next week, but the general view was that fiscal headroom would be relatively low if one is to be seen as fiscally responsible, and that any change to taxation, bringing it down, overall taxation, would be, as the Chancellor said, focused on encouraging employment and encouraging growth. And in that sense, the IFS favourite for a change would be a further reduction in national insurance, because that change, that benefit, will be attributed to those in work as opposed to the population generally. It would be cheaper and would be more targeted and not given to those who are retired and therefore contributing a little less through work, through exploitation of their human capital to the economy. As we've said before, as I've said many times before, and will continue to say, we will be keeping you up to date with what we could expect, what's in the news, and our view of it in the run-up to the budget. We have published today a full analysis summary of the IFS meeting that I referred to, thanks to the contributor to that bulletin. It's a really good, succinct piece worth a read. And of course, there'll be our budget service on the day of and day after the budget. And don't forget, of course, you can register for our budget webinar where the team will be contributing, and it will be taking place at 10 a.m. on Friday, the 8th of March. Look forward to seeing you there.